Choose your cooking oil base. 3. Marijuana is not water-soluble. It is fat-soluble, meaning you need cooking oils with high fat contents. Canola oil works well. You may also choose olive or coconut oil. However, olive and coconut oils have lower boiling points than canola oil. Choose your base depending on your application. Grind your marijuana. You want to start with dry marijuana. You may choose to stick with only the flowers. Some people will use all parts of the plant. Keep in mind that you will want to strain your oil later. Try not to grind your pot so finely that it will go through your strainer. A coffee grinder or food processor will work well. Just don't turn your marijuana into powder. Mix your oil and marijuana. The strength of your cannabis cooking oil will vary by your mixture. Pour your oil into a slow cooker, double boiler, or saucepan. Add your ground marijuana and stir. Make sure all your marijuana is covered in oil. Heat the mixture to dissolve the cannabis into the oil. How you heat your mixture will depend on what you are cooking in. How much you are cooking will also impact your cooking method. The goal is to get your oil and pot mixture hot without scorching. Stir the mixture frequently. You can add a little water to the mix to avoid scorching. Strain the oil. Do this while the oil is still hot for best results. You can strain the oil using a wire strainer to remove the larger pieces of marijuana. If you still have solids you want to get rid of, strain a second time through a coffee strainer. This will take a lot of time, so be careful and patient. You may want to do small batches while you continue to simmer the mixture. Store your oil for later use. When your oil has been strained, store your oil in the proper container with an airtight lid. Your oil will lose potency when exposed to oxygen. It will stay good for about 2 months. You can extend the shelf life longer by refrigerating it. Substitute your cannabis cooking oil for a portion of your recipe's requirement. Your cooking oil will likely be very potent. You probably do not want to substitute all of your cooking oil with marijuana-infused oil. Try substituting only a small portion, such as half fluid ounce or more, until you know the strength of your oil. Heat a pan of butter. Use low heat to melt 1 stick of salted butter. Use a saucepan with a lid so it can be allowed to simmer later. Move your butter around while it melts to avoid burning. You can increase the amount of butter you make by adding more sticks and ground marijuana in proper proportions. Grind your marijuana. For each stick of butter you will need at least 1/4 ounce of ground pot. Remove the seeds, leaves, and stems and focus on the flower buds. Grind the dried flower bud in a coffee grinder or food processor. Finer grinding may be done with a mortar and pestle. Simmer the mixture. Add your 1/4 ounce or more of finely ground cannabis to your melted butter. Keep the temperature at low. Stir the ground pot into your butter until it is evenly distributed. If your butter starts getting too hot, add a little water to reduce the temperature. Strain the butter and refrigerate. Choose a storage container for your butter. Cover the top with cheesecloth for straining. Use a rubber band around the top of the container to hold the cheesecloth in place. Pour the mixture through the cheesecloth into the container. Squeeze the solids to get as much butter out as possible. Store in an airtight container in your fridge for later use. Substitute your marijuana-infused butter for regular butter. Unlike with oils, most recipes use small amounts of butter for flavor. You can substitute the entire recipe amount with marijuana butter. If you find that you are not getting the needed medicinal effect, consider increasing the amount of marijuana per stick of butter to 1/2 ounce. Alternately, you can use a different method of cooking with marijuana. Remove all stems and seeds from the marijuana buds. The buds and flowers have the highest concentrations of cannabinoids are located in the buds. Remove any stems or seeds and allow the buds to dry thoroughly. You will need them as dry as possible to form powder. Even a small amount of moisture can be the difference between powder and paste. Grind the flowers. Use a food processor with sharp blades or a coffee grinder. The goal is to make a fine powder almost like flour itself. Keep blending and grinding until you see almost everything is pulverized. It may take some time. Sift through the ground flowers for unground parts. You may find that you still have some unground parts. Use a wire strainer or flour sifter over a bowl to separate the ground and unground parts. You should have only a little bit, if much at all, unground. Set aside the bowl of marijuana flour for now. Regrind the unground parts. The unground parts left in your strainer need to be reprocessed. If you have a coffee grinder, send them through a second time. If you are not getting the results you hoped for, or if you started with a food processor, move the unground parts to a mortar and pestle. Apply pressure with the mortar and stir the unground parts to produce the necessary grinding action. Store your marijuana flower in an airtight container. The marijuana's potency will be degraded by oxidation if not stored properly. Use an airtight container. Vacuum sealing will work great as well. Try to use it the same day or within 24 hours. Store in a freezer for long-term storage. Substitute your marijuana flower for a portion of your recipe's requirement. Generally, you are looking at about a 10% substitution, but as much as 20% may be okay. This is especially true for baked goods that must rise, such as breads. Unlike using infused butter or oil, marijuana flour is a true substitution. Marijuana flour doesn't act quite the same as regular flour.